Well, it's 3-in-3 for Michael Vaughan, but guess what? Lockie Ferguson bowled 4 maidens on the trot and got 3 wickets. So that's the big story. PNG have got an all-out for 78, but they did show the resilience and go up to the last over. We're back at Cricbuzz Live. I've got the hat-trick man, Michael Vaughan, in the studio. With him, DK, who's enjoying his life, watching some fishing behind, and that view. DK is in as well. But that was quite a quick innings in spite of the rain-delayed start, DK.
They bowled really well. Coming from Papua New Guinea, it's very hard to play bowlers of such quality, and that was too obvious. The pace of Lockie Ferguson, but credit to him to bowl 4 maiden overs, phenomenal effort. Just Amini and Sesebao found a way to just stay there, but overall you could see the skill is not there to play a high-quality bowling attack like New Zealand, and they were on the money. This is what we're all used to. New Zealand, disciplined team that feels well. Not something that they've done this World Cup, but a good way for Trent Boult to end.
Great way for Trent Boult to end, Michael. We were trying to see if he gets a wicket of his last ball. Bowled that beautiful Yorker, but didn't get a wicket.
No, he didn't, but he bowled nicely, as did all the seamers. A little bit of help as well from Santa and Sodhi, but as DK said, it's not easy. You know, the Papua New Guinea players aren't used to the pace, they're not used to the skill levels. The pitch wasn't an easy one. There was plenty of movement there, a bit of uneven bounce. And I just can't believe that a bowler can bowl 4 overs and not go for a run in T20 cricket. That can't. Even surely an edge will go down to third, or inside edge off the obviously off the edge of the bat, get one on the leg side. But remarkable from Lockie Ferguson. It's just the golfing class. We've seen a few of these games in this World Cup. We've seen some tight ones where the associate nations have got close to the bigger countries, but there's also been this kind of golfing. You just look at that. Lockie Ferguson, 3 for 0. He's had Tim Southey 3 for 4 against Uganda. Remarkable 4 over spells. It's been the World Cup so far of the bowling.
Absolutely.
The IPL was all about the batting, and so far this World Cup's been the complete reverse. It's all been about the bowlers.
DK, someday we're going to get a joy factor question. Saad bin Zafar and Lockie Ferguson, the only 2 in World Cup history to have 4 maidens in their spell.
Absolutely. And the way Joy Bhattacharya goes about phrasing that question, I'm sure I still won't get that answer, even if I know the answer. That's how clever he is. But what a terrific performance. It's been good. And also, if you see, out of the top 5, 4 have come in against smaller teams, and 1 against Sri Lanka, and everything in 2024. In a way, I'm so happy I wasn't picked for this World Cup, I guess.
Oh, DK. But like Michael said, it's been a bowlers World Cup so far, but hopefully things change once they move to the Caribbean.
Yeah, absolutely. In Barbados, if the weather is anything as good as it's been today, I don't want to, as I said, rubbing it in your face, but it's been very, very good. It's really warm, nice, pleasant, good cricketing weather.
All right, let's have a look at PNG's batting card. It was, like I said, they've reached 78, but they stuck on till the last 20th over. Michael, we saw that the captain was trying to take his time, Asad Wala, but managed only 6 of 16. Charles Amini, again, if he had stuck around a little bit more, we spoke about in the com box, we could have seen them go past 100. But if we look at that batting card, just 3 above 10 runs.
Yeah, I mean, Amini and Bao were just starting to get going, but I just didn't get into his rhythm. He got to 12 off 27. It's difficult facing this quality. He just couldn't get into his flow. But that was the partnership, really, that had to grow for Papua New Guinea. And Norman down the bottom end, he came in, Vano, and hit a few. He hit a nice big 6 down the ground. But I just think it's you can't criticise them because they've done so well to get to the World Cup, but the quality is just a complete drast in terms of the 2 sides. And you now look at New Zealand and they'll try and chase it down in 6 or 7 overs and get the job done. But it's all about experience for a team like Papua New Guinea that I haven't seen a great deal of. They're new to the World Cup. Can they learn from this experience? Can they just bring 1 or 2 more players into this group? And their job is really to try and think, can they qualify for the next one in Sri Lanka and India in 2026? And that'll be a a tremendous achievement. If you can qualify for 2 World Cups on the trot, I think you've done a tremendous job as an associate country. And I think today's obviously a day of experience, but then it's to move. Can they qualify to the next one? That's what they'll be talking about.
You know, DK, just like Michael
Also,
said,
I mean, just the way there is a gap even between Tier 1 associate nations. We're talking about Scotland, Netherlands, those teams, compared to Ireland, compared to Uganda, Papua New Guinea, and all of these other teams. So it's important that they play more matches within the associates, especially against the higher ranked ones, and that will help them to grow one step further. And then as Netherlands, Ireland play a lot of touring teams, a lot of teams that go to England but just manage to go on the way to Netherlands or Ireland, they improve their cricket as well, and that's how you grow the game.
this is exactly where I was getting to. You know, USA's got a few expat players. Michael, do you think we can see PNG do that as well, maybe to boost the team?
Yeah, I mean, they'll try. I mean, I guess the big difference for the likes of Papua New Guinea compared to the United States is the United States have got a huge amount of money. And they've got obviously a Major League Cricket League, which is only going to get bigger and bigger, where they're paying players a good sum of money now. And clearly the United States have had this project on for a while, and they've got quite a few younger players over there that have now qualified to play for the United States. Whether Papua New Guinea can do that, we'll have to wait and see. But as DK said, the most important aspect is experience. And if they can play more games against Ireland, against Scotland, the Netherlands, which we would call the top-ranked associate teams, the good teams, and they've played a lot of cricket, they're now experienced. If we can give them more opportunities like that, they'll have a better chance against the real top sides when they come up against. At the minute, you can just see it's just, you know, it's just men against boys, and you have to expect that because of the quality on show.
DK, we'll have a look at the bowling card.
DK has his hand up there. Whether he's waving to the fisherman, I'm not too sure, but I think he wants to say something.
I was just going to say that it's easier to find people migrating into an America or UAE and Oman because there are job opportunities. But to move to an Uganda or a Papua New Guinea as a migrant, unless you have job opportunities there, because you got to understand that whoever goes and plays cricket for that country, their main profession is to do some kind of work, and part-time is playing cricket. Unless Papua New Guinea find a way to give central contracts, which they will not be able to afford at this point of time, and they don't have enough job opportunities, and the chances of immigrants getting there becomes much tougher. That's why you'll always find a lot more immigrants in a few of the countries that I've just mentioned.
No, that's a really good point, DK. But when you're talking about these kind of transitions, I'd like to have a look at that New Zealand bowling card, because they are probably going to be in that transitionary phase. We see that this is going to be Trent Boult's last World Cup. But I know I've got two batters in the house, but just look at Tim Southee, Trent Boult, and with what Lockie Ferguson did, this is not what two batters want to see on a bowling card, do they?
No, but you know, how many times have we seen a card like that? You know, on a pitch that offers something, you pretty much are guaranteed to get spells like we saw from Boult, from Southee, from Ferguson, and two quality. I mean, this Southee got he went at 7.91, so they managed to hit Southee for a few boundaries, but you know, when you've got real quality like New Zealand are brought up on those kind of pitches, just a little bit of movement, full of length, bit of swing, bit of seam, bit of unevenness. They know how to bowl on those kind of surfaces, and we've seen it for pretty much, how long's Trent Boult been playing? 14 years? Is that what we say, 14 years? We've seen it for 14 years now that Trent Boult will deliver on that kind of... He delivers on most surfaces, but particularly when you give him something that's just there for him, he very rarely fails.
DK, was it a little too late in the World Cup? Like Michael said, they can bowl in these conditions. We've seen that it's been a bowler-friendly World Cup. Do you think a little too late for New Zealand?
Obviously, a touch too late. Their key game was the game against Afghanistan. And once that went by, I just thought it was going to be always an uphill task. And the fact that West Indies as well outplayed them, that was their one last throw of the dice. And that didn't work out as well. And it was their, it was an all-round performance. It's fair to say bowling has been very good last two games, but not so much in the first couple of games. And the batting didn't stand up as well. So overall, it's a disappointing campaign. But the best two teams in that group have qualified, West Indies and Afghanistan. And that is something that New Zealand will accept as well.
Well, Michael, do you think New Zealand's going to chase us down soon, or is now... That was the answer I wanted, that quick answer. We want the innings to be just as quick, don't we?
I think they'll come out flying. The pitch actually looked like it got a bit better. It's probably dried out a little bit when it Obviously, with the delayed start, there's a bit of moisture around, maybe a little bit of moisture on the surface. We saw a few balls grabbing into the deck. I think it's dried out. I think the New Zealand batters will be wherever they're going to party tonight, because it's the last game of the tournament for them. They'll be in the bar sooner than you think.
We'll have a look at New Zealand's playing 11, DK, because they've got some very talented players. Finn Allen, of course, we know how aggressive he can be. Rachin, so many franchise players there, but that one name of Kane Williamson is who I'd like to see, I don't know, maybe come up the order and get some runs quickly.
Kane Williamson, again, we speak a lot about Boult and he's announced it. Though I think Kane Williamson, thinking about how long he's going to play this format, is also around the corner. I think he's someone who will think twice about taking on the New Zealand contract after this, because here is his opportunity to go and pledge his name in a few franchisees and probably end up earning a little more, and understandably so. But for the moment, this game, I don't think he's going to get to bat because he has Rachin Ravindra ahead of him. But if he does get to bat, it'll be good to watch him bat.
So Finn Allen, another name I said, we know how aggressive he can be up at the top. He's somebody who just leaves you with that wow feeling with some certain knocks that he plays, but they've just been so inconsistent, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he's had injuries and he hasn't played that much cricket. I mean, you look at that before the World Cup. In 2024, great average in the World Cup. He's just not got going. He's one of those players, he's an aggressor. He takes huge amount of risks, and every now and again, as DK will tell you, in T20 cricket, you have a few games where you whack a ball straight down the fielder's throat. You get a little bit of unfortune. You're going in different scenarios, and obviously you have a few games where you don't score as many runs. It's just the nature of T20 cricket. I always admire players actually who play like him, because they take so many risks, and it's almost like they're banking on that one day out, and they have a day out and they go big and they kind of put a bit in the bank, because they know that they have to take so many risks, and there'll be a couple of low scores around the corner because of those risks. So I'm not overly concerned about those numbers just for this World Cup. I think the whole of the New Zealand group will be they're probably the most honest team in the world as well, and they'll be the first to admit that they've just not quite been at the races.
But DK, Finn Allen hasn't played since Feb. We know he had that back injury and then no warm-up game, straight coming into a big World Cup. That first shot that he hit was pretty brave with the shot that he got out to. Do you think it was a surprise that they got him into the playing 11?
No. He has been someone who's done really well for them. He was with me at RCB. You could see he oozes skill. He's got a lot of shots as well. And just like what Michael said, loves to take on high-risk shots. And with that comes inconsistency, and that's understandable. His whole ideology towards batting would be, how do I mix high-risk cricket with a little bit of consistency? That is the magic potion that a lot of these players are searching for. If they crack it, they go on to become something special, but it's always a work in progress. For the moment, he will be that talented player with gifted shots who can take on the bowling, finish a game, and also come with a few failures around the corner. And I don't think the West Indies pitches have been his friend in these last 2 weeks.
Well, DK, you know who's cracked it with the guessing game is Michael Vaughan. So let's give him the winner goes first chance. Michael, your power play.
65.
Power play?
Yeah, 65.
Okay.
Well, what do you want me to say?
No, I mean, I just making sure it's the power play score.
Yeah, 65.
DK for you.
60.
Okay.
See, we've gone high.
No, I'm going to go high as well.
Are you going to go 75?
No. I'll go with 57.
57.
57, 60 and 65 is what we've got. If we are anywhere close to our prediction scores, we will be done very quickly. But we'll find out once the game starts, and we will see all at the Cricbuzz com box at the 10 over point.